Okay, first things first, get everything out so you know that you have everything before you start. And the first thing you start prepping is the butter, because you want it to melt slowly on low heat. So just measure it up, stick it in the front, and put it on the pan, first thing. The bigger the surface that hits the pot, the quicker it melts, but don't put it up high because you don't want to burn it. Right, next step, divide the egg. My buckets won't crack an egg, so I just took out something else for that. Flip it, and over the ones you're gonna have the meringue, the smaller one. Open it carefully, let all the whites pour out. And that white thing, it's fine, just cut it off with the eggshell. Pour it over once to get the stuff that's underneath. Now you got them separated. So now it's starting to melt, and it shouldn't get any hotter than this. It should keep its golden color. And while it keeps on melting, we're gonna whip the meringue. So you got the 3 whites and your beater. Put it on super high and go until it's white foam, and it should be sticking in the pot. You should be able to turn it upside down. I'll show you when it's getting it. It is almost done now. You can see how it's starting to shape itself. It's going to get really thin. You'll be able to turn it upside down. Not quite yet. Don't bury it yet. Hold on. Now I can. Hold on. The test. You ready? Yeah, it's done. Now you fold in the sugar nice and slow with a spatula. 1 deciliter. If you want less sugar, that's fine. You fold it in carefully. You don't want to whip it, because then all the air will go out of the foam. So you just kind of fold it in until the sugar's all in there. And then it's almost done, this part. So now the meringue is done. Now we go for the batter. Sugar, eggs, whip until together and starting to turn white fish. You need it fluffy, as soft as you can. The bowl is too big, pour it straight. See how it's turning color? Done. Now add the fluids. The butter's melted. You're gonna have some milk, and then you're gonna put in the flour with the baking powder. They should be mixed, and the easiest way of doing this is putting the flour in a pile and the baking powder on top, and just stir it up, and then pull the whole thing together. So I got the baking powder in the flour. I just sort of stirred up a wee bit, and now it's ready for pouring in the fluids. 4, 5 tablespoons of milk, the melted butter. Try not to pour it right on top of the baking powder, because it's the heat that gets it going. And then stir it together. Not so high on the whisk this time, just but make the batter smooth. And you want to get all the ingredients in, so get them down from the edges. And one smooth batter. And now, go over to the cake form. Just kind of like try to pour it in a line. It'll get easier on you. And sort of spread it as evenly as you can, as square as you can, because you want to get square pieces out of this, or at least rectangular ones eventually. Depending on how big your oven is, this cake is going to get different sizes. But make sure you got one with an edge on it so it doesn't escape off the edge. In order to be able to spread the meringue on top of this evenly, I just pre-cook it like for 1 or 2 minutes just to get it crust so I can spread it easier. In the middle of the oven.
180 Fahrenheit. We don't know what that is.
No,
180
Celsius. It's
Let's check it out.
it's 350.
300.
Alright, so it's been like 2 minutes and it's just gotten a wee bit of a crust on it. Be as quick as possible, otherwise we'll screw up the baking powder. And try to just evenly put on. See how the batter is still kind of shaping itself to the meringue when I'm trying to push it, so kind of try to work it easy without disturbing the cake bottom too much. And this is the trick. If you turn it, this is tricksy, but even if it does come together, it's fine too. It gets really yummy anyways, as long as it's meringue on top, it'll be fine. Come on. Now you see why I like that little crust thing going on.
Should have left it a little longer there.
Nah. Or you don't care and you just put the meringue on top right away and let it mix and not care. Alright, there we go. 20 minutes from now, this will come out and be golden crusted meringue with a sponge cake bottom. Thing. So depending on the size of your platter and the size of your cake, you cut them in 1, 2, or 3 pieces and put them on there. So the trick to get it off the paper without breaking the actual cake is you hold it, you fold the paper back, you stick the cake where you want it, and you sort of just peel the paper back and it ends up where you want it. And then you put the filling on. You whip the cream and you put the pineapple there.
Show you what that looks like in a second.
So make sure the whipped cream, the heavy cream, is cold when you do this. It'll whip up much better. And make sure the bucket is dry from washing. Water will make it split and not be all nasty. Whip it not super hard because then you might end up with butter. So you want to stop before it gets like crusty. You just want it smooth, creamy. You can see that it's starting to get ready. You can see the froth and the waves and the pattern from the whisks. Time to slow it down and just whip it a wee bit more. Don't want it to get too hot. Then it'll be buttery. Now I'd say when it looks like that and you get all the little clips, that's when it's done. Alright, when you put the crushed pineapple on, it's fine if a little bit of the juice comes along, but you don't want all of it because then you'll have a floating cake instead of a cake. If you take it up with a fork, you get just enough of the juice in there to get the really juicy kind of bottom and not drying. And it'll be better if it sits the longer it sits. Tomorrow it's going to be super juicy and really good. But you sort of just scoop it up there and spread it out even. As even as you can, because everybody wants a piece of pineapple in their piece. So get it all the way out to the edges. Alright, now the pineapple's all on there, spread even. Now you take about half of your cream and you pour it on. Now you see why it's good to have it looser. Maybe it was a wee bit too loose. You sort of just spread it on top of here. And this too you want as even as possible. The top part is going to get it all evened out too. There, that should do it. And now we'll take the top part of this, and the same thing. Fold the paper piece back, support it with your hand, and kind of try to aim the edge, and sort of just let it fall onto it. And now, since this is a meringue cake, you can either, if you've got several layers, you can keep the top layer without cream on it. You'll get that crunch to stay on. If this had been a different one, you just spread cream on top of it, and berries and stuff, and whatever you want to put on there to make it nice and nice. So Eric gets to choose, cream on top or not. So, since we didn't decide beforehand to have it a clean top, then we could have whipped the cream harder and put more cream in between, but now we'll just have the whipped up cream for side dish, and anybody can add as much as they